Good morning, guys. So last night we stayed at Kathleen, which is sort of an old abandoned mining town, about an hour sort of thing, 40 minutes an hour out of Mount Isa. So much space here for camping. So much space. And on the other side of the creek there behind me is the old town. So 1982 was when they shut the town down and they had an auction, and they just basically auctioned all the buildings off. Most of the buildings got taken to Mount Isa or into Cloncurry, but all the slabs are still there, and there's still a town map, so you can have a look and see what used to be there. It was a thriving little town. The mine's about 7 k's up the road, was a uranium mine, so we had a look at that yesterday. So we'll give you a look at that as well. It was really nice. Don't swim in the water. If you have got a smaller setup, like a small camper trailer, or you're a swag or a rooftop tent sort of person, if you go right up to the mine, there's some beautiful sites up on the edge of the hills up there looking over the sunsets, and definitely where we'd want to camp if we could have got the big van up there or had a bit more time. But we'll give you a look around the town, and we'll go from there. We're going to go into Mount Isa this morning. We're just hitched up. We've got a couple of things to do in there, and then we're shooting through to the Barclay Homestead sort of area. So there's just these massive concrete slabs and footings and foundations still here. As I said, they were able to auction off all the buildings, and most of those are still in service in Mount Isa and Cloncurry. But yeah, crazy how big this town was. And it had its own self-sufficient sort of doctors and schools, and it had a massive orchard, and yeah, really cool that you can still come and camp on these concrete sites. You can see the kids have been doing hopscotch and things on them. So it's really not that long ago, but you can sort of get a picture of what this town would have been like for sure. After stocking up on the groceries and a few little odds and ends in Mount Isa, we started the run towards the Northern Territory border. The first time that myself and the kids have been into the Northern Territory, so we're pretty excited about that. We pushed through from Mary Kathleen all the way to the Barclay Homestead, which is just over 500 k's. Was a pretty big day travelling, but this is certainly an oasis in the outback, sort of in the middle of nowhere. The giant recycled steel goannas fighting out the front is very hard to miss, and something I found very cool. The homestead itself burnt down last year, and it has been fully refurbished, and it's absolutely beautiful inside. The park we found to be very clean, very well maintained, plenty of sites, plenty of room, and reasonably priced as well. It has a beautiful pool area. Fuel is available. There is a sort of a handful of groceries from the little store there, and beautiful meals from the pub. We just spent the one night at the Barclay Homestead and kept pushing through towards Daly waters. Another big day in the car for the kids. It was about 570 k's between the Barclay Homestead and Daly waters. It's such an eclectic little town. You blink and you miss it sort of thing, but it's basically consists of the caravan park, tourist sort of park, the Daly waters pub, and then as you can see here, Tim's Junkyard is the little museum, which really blew us away. It was, a lot more than what we expected. The pub was perfect. It has a little beer garden out the back with a couple of pools. Perfect for the kids. Has that really country sort of laid back, no rules sort of feel, which you'll get with the Northern Territory. Animals walking through the bar, animals everywhere. Kids can pat them. There was live entertainment, and they also do a beef and barra as well, which is $35 per person.
Sheep will do and a kangaroo, a clothesline at the back, veranda at the front, and an old rocking chair. Very good. I don't think the adults are doing it very well though.
A must do is Tim's Junkyard, which is $3 honesty system entry. Just looks like a tin shed from the outside, and the more you walk through, the more you realise the quality of this collection. Some vehicles here I've never seen anywhere else, in pristine condition. Just amazing old Indian motorcycles, all sorts of old Holdens, Fords, Chevys, and just in perfect condition, show winning pieces. The shed just seems to continue forever. The more you walk through, the more you find, and it was just amazing to see such an eclectic collection and high quality display out in somewhere like this. So definitely a must see.
Time to leave Daly waters, and we're off to Mataranka.
168 k's up the road and we were in Mataranka, which felt like just ducking to the shops after the last 600k 2 days we'd had in the car. It was certainly nice to be at camp a lot earlier and be set up and ready to explore. We chose to stay at Little Roper Stock Camp. which was definitely a win with the kids. They have a reptile handling every morning at 9 a.m. There is a massive range of reptiles there, pythons, a little saltwater crocodile there as well. There's also your blue tongue lizards or skinks, turtles, yeah, all sorts of things. Our animal lovers were certainly in their element, particularly Mackenzie, who's missing her blue tongue lizard from home. So yeah, it was a great way to entertain the kids for an hour anyway.
Can you come up here, please? Sir? Anyone?
Another must do if you're staying at Little Roper Stock Camp is the freshly cooked Johnny cakes. And as you can hear, they were definitely a big hit with the kids.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I don't know how many did.
Unfortunately, we were a week or two late and missed out on the Whippy Griggs show that Mataranka is quite famous for during the tourist season. But fortunately, we did still get to check out Bitter Springs, which you can see us going into now. And a little bit later in the video, we'll also show you the thermal hot pools, which is more in Mataranka itself. Unfortunately, again, just the time of year, the negative of that site was there were a lot of bats around, was quite smelly, and a lot of bat feces around, so that detracted from that one a little bit, but you can certainly see how awesome it would have been in the right time of year. But out of the two, we both loved the Bitter Springs more anyway, just the more natural thing. You can hop in at the top, float down, get out, do it again, rinse and repeat. And I think we ended up doing it 6 or 8 times. It's not a hot water, it's only about 32 degrees, so it's just still refreshing during the day, but not cold. So yeah, absolutely perfect. And again, the natural beauty of it was just amazing.
So we're just coming into Mataranka, the thermal pools. So this is the entry for it. Unfortunately, this is the place where bats have started to migrate and are absolutely everywhere. I don't know if you can see them in the video.
over there? Let's go. Let's
After spending a couple of days in Mataranka, we headed towards Katherine, but as you'll see, things didn't go to plan.
wait for me! I thought I was touch! Sorry about that one, Mama.
Well, that's all we got done in Katherine, was just the hot springs. Sorry if it's a bit dark here, I'm hunkered up inside the caravan in the dark like a shadow, but yeah, just wanted to show you or let you know what happened. We had a lot planned in Katherine. We had booked in to go to the Outback Spectacular sort of thing that shows you how they break in the horses and the dogs and all that sort of thing, which would have been great. We also wanted to go to the gorge. There's just so much to do, waterfalls, helicopter flights, just heaps of stuff that you can entertain yourself with at Katherine. But unfortunately for us, when we left Mataranka the morning that we were leaving Mataranka, Jess woke up not in a good way. So she was very, very dizzy, disorientated, upset, nauseous. Didn't want to open her eyes, was just in a terrible way. So I basically packed everything up by myself, threw her in the car with the help of Jim, her brother, and she laid there in agony all the way to Katherine. I chucked the van on the camp where we were staying, set it up as quick as I could, left the kids with Jim and Danica, who we're travelling with at the moment, and thank God they looked after the kids for us and took Jess up to hospital. So we spent the first day in Katherine up in hospital getting tests and bloods and all sorts of things. Turned out that she had vertigo, like a bad case of vertigo, so just had to ride that one out, but it's debilitating when you've got it. So anyone that does have it, we completely feel for you and know what it's like now. So that was the first day written off. Fortunately, the kids still got to go and see the Outback show because Jim and Danica took them for us and took my car, so they didn't miss out. Jess and I did as a result, so we can't sort of show you too much of that, but anyway. Yeah, and then you'll notice in the videos that we just showed you of swimming at the hot springs, Jess isn't swimming because she still wasn't feeling up to it. So yeah, it was a bit of a watered down version of Katherine, but we do have to go back home that way, so no doubt we'll definitely call back in there and make up for the stuff we didn't get to do. Further from that, we also had, at Winton, we had a bit of a gastro bug go around, and pretty much everybody got sick with that and had a bit of downtime and didn't really like that. Somehow I missed it, I dodged it, and it's now caught up with me now. So we're in Darwin now. Got here yesterday, and I went downhill last night, and I've got I'm assuming a gastro bug, and I've spent all day in bed. We're supposed to be booked in to do the jumping croc tour, Adelaide River jumping croc tour, where they feed them beside the boat, so I'm really hoping I can pull it together for that tomorrow morning. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys that the good and the bad, I guess. Like, it is life on the road. It's not just a holiday. It's not just 2 weeks of your life. As we've said, things that would go wrong at home, like Jess's tooth and Jess's tailbone and all that sorts of things, it always seems to be Jess, unfortunately. So it is definitely my turn. But yeah, they still go wrong on the road, and you just got to make the best of a bad situation. And it sucks. You're all stuck in a caravan with someone sick. The kids have just got to a new place with their cousin, and they want to be going in and going to the beaches and doing all that sort of thing. So we've had a pretty quiet day today, hoping that I'll recharge a little bit and we'll be back into it tomorrow. So that's going to end the video here, and in the next video you'll find out whether we make the jumping croc tour or whether the kids and Jess do and I end up in bed like a sad sack. But yeah, so we'll see you on the next video. Thanks guys.